Hello everyone, this is Sajal Debinath, and today I'm going to talk about how you can programmatically create custom groups in vRealize Operations Manager. Now, the particular use case for which I have created these scripts is when you have, say, tags created in vCenter server and the VMs are tagged with the tag name. Now you want to create custom groups in vRealize Operations Manager, and you want that the custom group name will be equal to the tag names that's there in vCenter server, and the members of the custom groups should be those VMs which are tagged with the tag name, so they should be automatically be part of this. And in future, if you create any virtual machine and tag it with the tag name, it should automatically be part of these custom groups. Now, you can do that manually in vRealize Operations Manager, but consider the fact if you have, say, hundreds of virtual machines and a large number of tags created, then creating those custom groups in vROps server manually is not very efficient way of doing it, is it? So this is a script. Actually, it's a collection of scripts. The first part, it has two parts. The first part is data gathering. I'm gathering the data from a vCenter server, and then the second part is I'm creating the custom groups in vROps server. The data gathering part is PowerShell script, PowerShell script, which is very helpful when you want to interact with the vCenter server. And the second part is the Python script when you interact with the vROps server. Now, I have a particular preference with Python when I'm interacting with a vROps server, the REST API specifically, because the client comes out of the box with the vROps server, and I really don't have to bother about the REST APIs, the calling out to the REST APIs. I can do the same task using PowerShell, but I will have to make those commands, make those calls myself from using invoke REST method. So I will have to worry about what should be the header, what should be the body, and all this stuff. But with Python, it's just out of the box. You just import the module and simply use the methods that's defined inside it. It's pretty clean, neat, fast. So I prefer Python where I'm interacting with the VROP server. So that is the reason I have two different types of script. So preferably you would run it from Windows Server because you will have to run a PowerShell script, but you can run it from Linux or Mac machine as well. So let's start the demonstration. This is my vROP server. It's 6.6, pretty cool and neat and cool interface. So you have the customs groups. You can see that these are the default customs group that has been created. Now the first part of the script is a PowerShell script, which is the name get tag names, which is has a single function export tag, two parameters. The first parameter is the vi server parameter, and the second parameter is not mandatory, which is the category name, the tag category name. The first part of the parameter is mandatory and the second parameter is optional. So what I'm doing is getting the script root, that from where you are running the script. I'm getting that information because I will create the output in the same directory with a tag list.json file name. And the second thing is, if you are mentioning the category name, then I'm specifying that the tag name should be from this particular category only. And if I'm not specifying anything, I am querying all the tag lists and all the categories, storing them in a variable and then converting the variable in the JSON format and then creating the file. So let's first run this script. Okay, now the first thing that you need to do, let me just disconnect my server. I was just connected to the vi server, so I will just disconnect my vi server. The first thing that you need to do is connect to the server. So I will create a variable server and then is connect vi server and then my vCenter server name, which I have, right? So I'm connecting to the vCenter server and then I'm mentioning storing the information in a variable, which I'm going to pass to the function. Add Okay, so this is getting connected. This is now connected to the vCenter server. Now remember this step very clearly, that when you download the scripts, put in a folder, go inside the folder and then dot source the source the PowerShell file. So dot sourcing is just dot space and then uh, mentioning the file name. What it does, it makes the variables, and typically in any programming language you have the scope of a variable function scope. So here what I'm doing, whatever variables and the functions that are defined inside the script, I am sourcing them into the current environment. So those functions and the variables will be available in the current environment. So all it does, it's available now. So the export tag function, it's acting as a commandlet here, and first thing I will do is just server. I will just mention the server, which is my variable server. I'm not mentioning any category, so I'm just querying for all the tag names and the category names that's there in the environment. So it has been created, so you can see that the tag list .json file is created here. I'm just opening it here. You can see that all the tag names and their respective category name is mentioned here. So I'm getting that information. Now what happens if I'm mentioning a particular category name, say category, and then a particular category name, I want to query the tag name only for that. So what it does, it's just rewrites the file. Since the file was already there, so it rewrites the file with the information of that particular category only, tags from that particular category, right? So this is the first part where you can get the information. Now in the same folder, you need to download the other files, and run the same folders. Now the Python files are set environment. uh, this is where I'm setting the environment. We can run this script. It will ask you for the adapter kind, say what kind of adapter that you want. Say for example VMware, that's the adapter kind. Then the resource kind, it's a virtual machine, and then vROps server IP or FQTN, the user ID, password. And it's going to encrypt the password and store in the encrypted format, and it's going to store the value in a env.json file. So a sample env.json file will look like this: adapter kind, resource kind, server, password, and user ID. Right? The password, note the password is encrypted. So I'll store this information, and the next time when I'm running create custom groups or group vROps.py, this script is going to utilize this value that has been set in environment.json file, and going to utilize it. Why I wanted to store the information, probably would be running it for a single time. I could just directly ask it from the script, but I thought that maybe your environment will change and you will create more tags. So you may want to run this script from time to time, and then you can just simply use the predefined values. So I will explain the script a bit. I'm just importing the modules. The Nagini module is the module that's there for Python module. And you see, if you go into REST API, vROPS REST API, uh, I'm going to just suite API. The Python module is available from here. You can simply download the Python client and just install it with python setup.py install. That is that easy. So you just simply go there, use the Python one, and then I'm just getting the same thing, getting script path from where I'm running the script, because I'm expecting the other files to be there. The tag list.json, which has the data, and the environment.json file, I'm expecting these files to be here. And then I'm reading the files, environment file. I'm setting the variables for connecting to the server. This is where it gets interesting. Typically I connect to the vROPS server using that host and user password, but here I'm going to utilize a script. I'm going to call out to to a method or REST API function which is available in the internal APIs. I'm going to create the custom group using the create custom group, this particular URI resource. So what I'm doing, I'll need to mention use internal APIs equals to true. I need to pass this parameter, otherwise it will fail. To use the internal APIs, you will need to mention this value to be true. If you are doing a PowerShell command or doing a postman, you will have to mention that variable in the header file, in the header portion of the query, right? So this is the difference, and this is very important here. Just note this option. If you are doing anything with the internal APIs, you will have to mention this value, otherwise it will not work, right? And if you are doing the public APIs, if you are working with the public APIs, their methods, you don't need to mention this. It's only with the internal APIs. So here I'm connecting to the vROps server. I'm just actually not connecting it to it. I'm just getting the values, and then open the data path. I'm getting the data, parse data, and I'm getting actually what I'm doing here. I'm doing get data vROps dot get custom groups. I want to check whether the custom groups that I want to create, whether there is any pre-existing custom group with the same name. So that's the reason I'm getting all the custom group names and then storing that variable into parse data, and then I'm creating a set. It's like mathematical set. I'm creating the set because I want to find out later on that whenever the variables that I'm getting, the tag names that I'm getting, I want to check whether there is a pre-existing custom group which has the same name. Now, doing this matching on a list will take longer time, but setting, getting the checks on a set, the type set is very fast. That's why I'm just converting the variable or the data into set format, so that I will do a check later on. And now here you need to mention create tag by category. So what happens at the script that I have right now, it does not check for the category, because group type, that's the folder and folder type that you will have to create in a VROP server manually. If you already have say group type defined as per the category type or tag category, then you can mention it here equal to true. So at the time of creation of the custom groups, I'll just showcase it here. When you create any group, say this is my group, and this is a custom group that I created, this group type value that is there, this web. So this is something which I created earlier. What I'm doing, if you go to administration and then configuration and group types, so you notice the group types that's there here. You can simply create a group type as test. It's just naming, it doesn't do anything. But at the later stage, when you want to create a custom group, you can tag the custom group saying what is the group type. So what you can do actually, since tag category is a larger entity, so you can create a group type as the tag category, and then create the groups, custom groups as per the tag names, and then you can mention the group type is your tag category. So it's like sorting the data in a more cleaner way. So if you have done that, you can say true, and then this is the manual portion that you will have to do, then true, and then the rest of the creation, custom group creation, will be done automatically. So I'm setting the properties like summary and tag. What I'm doing, so when you create a custom group, say I'm giving it a name, and say group type is equals to web, policy is your default policy, and then the type is virtual machine. We send a server and send virtual machine. I'm And then membership type, I say it's on properties, and then I'm picking a property which is vSphere tag. See the vSphere tag. So I'm selecting the property, and then parameter, say contains, and the property value, say production hyphen web. So I'm saying if any virtual machine which has a property summary vSphere tag which contains production web should be part of this custom group, right? That's how I create it. Now here I'm getting that same property. I'm defining that property. You can define any other property as well. And the operator contains, you can say mention is or is not, and then adapter kind key is container that I am setting. You can make the changes here as per your requirement, right? Here I'm checking whether the tag name in set data, it's if it's already there, then I'm just simply saying that it already exists, tag name already exists. I cannot create the custom group and then continue, go for the next tag name. And if create by tag category, then I'm saying resource kind category should be the category name that we had created manually, otherwise it should be part of environment. Now notice here I'm getting the creating the JSON file, the particular format. If you notice into create custom group, this particular on a property key condition, this is the template that I need to create. This is the JSON format. I need to make the request in this particular format, so I need to build this, right? Here you're just mentioning the name of the custom group, adapter kind key, this resource kind key, and then resource kind is virtual machine VMware. And here notice this membership definition I'm defining, attribute values. So the membership definition, the rules is virtual machine VMware. You notice that here we create a defined membership criteria as of virtual machine type of VMware, is the adapter, right? Adapter kind, and then attribute values. I'm setting the attribute values. These properties, this is here is this attribute, right? So I'm just setting here that attribute values, right? Adapter kind resource key, and then info adapter kind key name equals info tag, and then whether the resource kind key is resource kind. So I'm just generating this JSON format here with all the variables in the places for the values. Then I'm calling out to the custom group. I'm just creating that custom group, right? So let me just run this. I want to run this program. I'm just running this Python script in my environment. It should create, and it has successfully ran. So let me go back and check into my vROps server whether there are any custom groups were created. So see, you have all these custom groups, that test tag m1 small. If I go back, I can see my tag list.data JSON data. It had all these tag names, OpenStack VM. So I need to have, it should create an OpenStack VM custom group. See, OpenStack VM. So I have a custom group with the name OpenStack VM. Say I had a custom group with the name admin. So it should create an custom group with the name admin, right? So the data was not collected right, yet. It would be collected over the time. So you see that all the custom groups were already created that I wanted to push as per the tag names. Now if I run this again, it should give me output that's saying that this is already exists. See, it tells me that all these custom groups are already existing. So this is how you should run the script, and this is what it exactly does. Please go ahead, download the script and run it and give me feedback as always. Thank you for watching. This particular blog post will be available into http vtechguru.com. Go ahead, visit my blog. This is my blog. This is where I write my all things. So this will be available. Details about the script would be available here. Go ahead, subscribe to it, and watch out for the blog. Thank you for watching.